The first step in getting freeform dreads, bro, you want to make sure you have at least a little bit of hair on your head. Because I can't tell you how many times I've seen somebody try to start freeforms and they have not even this much hair on their head, bro. Like, there's nothing more uglier than having little beady balls in your head, bro. If you one of them people who walk around with them little beady balls in your head, bro, cut it out, bro. Just get you a pic. It's over. Just come back to this video when you got a little bit of hair. But for my people who do have hair, I got multiple different methods for y'all on how to get freeform dreads, how to take care of your freeform dreads, and how to make them grow faster. Probably not gonna get into all of that in one video, but you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna give y'all boys a method, and I'm gonna give y'all my personal method, and then we finna just go from there. Starting off, my freeforms, I've had them for like maybe a year. Starting next month, I've had my freeforms for a year. And as you can see, my hair is kind of like curly, so your hair might be different than mine no matter what method you use, because we have different hair types. And you see, mine kind of look like a mullet a little bit because I don't have a back taper, so mine is kind of unique compared to most people because they have back tapers and stuff, but I'm gonna give y'all what y'all came here for. The first method to freeform dreads is the sponge method. I don't use a regular sponge, I use this right here. If you don't know what this is a Twist King. Basically, it's just a rubber version of the sponge. The regular sponge is made out of like that plastic foamy material and it breaks over time. Hair gets stuck in it, it pulls your hair out. It's not good for your hair. So I use this Bow Wow thing right here, this Twist King. Basically, this right here is just that, but without all the cons and nothing but pros. So basically, it's simple how to use this. So once you have a little bit of hair on your head, you got like a little mini fro or something, every single day, twice a day, once in the morning, once at night, or just once in the morning, or just whenever you get bored, you take this, you start right here in the middle of your head when you got a fro, and you go around in this motion all over every single part of your hair, whatever haircut you got, and you just do that twice a day, every single day. You do that every single day along with all the other stuff I'm about to let y'all boys know in this video, your hair gonna be tough. But it's really just simple. Bam, bam, bam. That simple. The next method you can do is the brush method. The brush method is basically the exact same thing as the sponge method, but it's just with a brush. Some people don't have sponges and all that extra stuff in their house, bro, so I'm giving y'all boys methods on everything. The brush method is quite literally the same thing, just with a brush. But you can't just grab any brush, bro. If you grab a random hard brush out your mama's room or something, bro, it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be pulling your hair out. You're gonna have plugs. You're gonna have all of that. That's why I had to restart my first set of freeforms. Basically, just the same thing. You take your soft brush or your medium soft brush and you go right here and you go bam, 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 all over your head. My whole freeform journey so far, I've used this method, and I've even went without doing it. So honestly, to be honest, both of these are pretty solid in my opinion. And the thing about using a brush method, you literally can use this to do your hair and brush your fade. I use this to do my hair, and then I use this to brush my fade. So whatever cut you got, you just brush it down. And y'all see I got a taper line up too. I got a cut last week, it still look decent. These are two methods so far. Now I'm gonna get y'all boys with another method. The next method you can use is the towel method. I'm not finna pull out a rag right now, but basically the towel rag method, whatever you wanna call it, is the same exact thing as these right here. You grab the towel, you fold it up, microfiber, whatever type of rag towel you got, you put it in your hand, same thing, go all the way around. The only thing about this method is I feel like it makes your hair thin out and it makes your hair dry. So I really don't recommend it, but if you don't have these two right here, use the towel method. The next method and the last method is the 2-strand twist method. Basically, this method is self-explanatory. You take 2 strands of your hair and you twist them over top of each other like 2-strand twists. I'm not finna 2-strand twist mine because I ain't using that method and I don't really know how to do it, but you just 2-strand twist your hair all over. You leave them in for like 2 to 3 weeks, maybe a month. You take them out, you let them sit out for a minute. You just keep repeating that, and over time your hair locks up because of the constant 2-strand. Over time your hair locks up because of the constant 2-strand twisting, and you have tough freeforms after that. Now this method right here creates probably the toughest freeforms, and it's probably the least damaging to your hair. Because I'm gonna keep it a buck, freeform dreads is not really a hairstyle that's good for your hair. You constantly damaging your hair, you doing bad things to your hair, and you manipulating your hair in a way it shouldn't be manipulated. So that's why you gotta take precautions. Now that we got all of those out the way, the next thing I do for my freeform dreads, after I do my sponge method, I take a pick, and after I do whatever I do, I just pick my roots out like this. So I go bam, 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 bam. This is how you get your freeforms to kind of like stand up. As you can see, mine are like already dropping over. In the next few months, bro, like no matter if I use this or not, my hair is still gonna drop down. But in the earlier stages, I used to do this to make my hair stand up and make it look better, especially when I had a cut. But you just do that after you use whatever method. Now that that's out the way, all the actual getting the freeforms part, now it's things you have to do to your freeforms while you have them. There's a certain way you have to move for freeform dreads, especially in the beginning stages, and if you don't move that way, your freeforms are as good as gone. The first thing that's probably gonna get a lot of y'all's attention is getting your hair wet. When you first start your freeforms, you cannot wash your hair. Your hair cannot get wet. you can't really even sweat that much. If you sweat that much, bro, you a hooper, you an athlete, and you trying to get freeform dreads with that little bitty fro, I promise you do too much, you sweating them out, it's over. So basically what I recommend doing is not wash your hair for the first month or two of your freeform journey, and then after that your hair should be good enough depending on what your hair type is and what method you use. But I would say after the first 2 or 3 months of not washing your hair or getting it that wet, your hair should be pretty good for washing, because mine was. And now I can wash my hair anytime I want to. So to combat that, make sure you get in the shower, make sure you have a shower cap. You just put this over top of your head, and when you get in the shower, this stops all water from reaching your head. And the only time your hair should be getting wet is if you're like spraying it or something, running some in your hands and putting it in there, or just washing your hair after months. The next thing that I do for my freeform dreads that keeps them healthy and keeps them good and keeps my hair growing and not falling out is you have to get a oil and you have to get a moisturizer for your hair. Me personally, I use this Michelin, however you say it. I don't know if it's focusing or not, y'all boys see that? It's definitely not focusing. But y'all boys can see, you know what I'm saying? You probably black, you probably saw your mama had this in her crib before, you feel me? But y'all boys know this Michelin right here, you feel me? And then you gotta get you a moisturizer. I don't have a certain brand for a moisturizer. My mama just took me to a black beauty supply. The woman at there, you know what I'm saying? She put her hand in my head and she said, yep, get this. And I've been using this every 3 days. So every 3 days, I recommend you put oil in your scalp. It can be black castor oil, wild growth, whatever oil that you like. Put it in your scalp every 3 days along with this right here. This right here is for your hair and your scalp. This gonna lock in moisture and all that and keep your hair good, and this gonna give your hair like nutrients and stuff and help it grow. And the next thing I got for you for that is make sure you drink a lot of water. The more water you drink doing these methods and doing all this stuff, your hair gonna be tough, especially over time. And now, last but not least, when you sleep, you have to be protecting your hair. Because you can do all of these methods I just showed you and do all these tips and tricks, but at nighttime, if you go into your room and sleeping on that rough cotton pillowcase with no protection on your hair just gonna dry out and grow slower. It's still gonna grow, but grow slower. So at nighttime, I recommend you get you a silk satin pillowcase or you get you a silk satin bonnet. I hope you ain't one of them men who think it's feminine to take care of your hair like that, bro, but if you want tough freeforms, you want your hair to be how you want it to be, then you're gonna have to wear this right here. That's the end of this tutorial though.